What's up, y'all? Y'all here with another episode of the XCLNT podcast right now. We at the Light Collective.
Like collect.
We at a very, very
Like collect.
space right now. I just wanted to talk to y'all real quick about some different issues. Just kind of seeing that we getting like further into the pod or whatever. I feel like this pod is turning into a lot of things that we have yet to really talk about, but yeah, let's get into it, man. I'm gonna just open up my notes real quick, my Google Notes, and then we just gonna talk, man. We just gonna chat it up, like. Yeah, I know I kind of missed y'all, man. I ain't even gonna lie. It's been a good like little minute that we didn't. Well, I ain't gonna lie. I never feel like I'm on the back end of like making stuff. I feel like I'm always like right on time with this shit because everybody else is like so far behind. Or maybe I just feel like I'm always ahead of everything.
He's a genius.
Forgot we was gonna talk about this episode, but we definitely gonna dive into some very important subjects. I forgot what I was gonna talk about.
Forgot it's a whole nother episode.
That's crazy. But yeah, y'all, welcome to the pod, man. Apparently there was a shooting at UNLV that just recently happened. It's crazy to hear about another school shooting or another like mass shooting, man. It's like so disappointing and like it's really scary to think that that's what's going on right now. Even after like all of the crazy, like, I don't want to say Sandy Hook. I hate to say that like all of these like school shootings are like falling like kind of blending together, but sometimes it feels like that. It's weird. So I'm gonna look at his identity, because I feel like hearing about this and not looking it up is kind of like heartless. This is from AP News from like 50 minutes ago. Apparently they've already identified him. It says that 3 faculty members were killed, and the 4th was wounded by a gunman who opened fire on the University of Nevada, Las Vegas campus before dying in a shootout with police. So apparently he killed 3 faculty members and then was killed. He didn't kill himself. He was killed in like combat. I feel like stuff like this, man, it just gotta stop. Like, when I say, it's just gotta stop, it sounds really like easier said than done, right? So that's definitely easier said than done. Like, if we don't find a way to get in front of some of these like mass shootings and like these people like, just like losing their mental like space or like mental stability in like these moments, and just kind of like taking it out on people and being like, yo, people gotta die, I think that's the scariest part of it all. It's like, you know what I'm saying? I think that's what they kind of want to have from the situation, is like, I'm making somebody hurt more than I'm hurt. I think that's what it is. I mean, and every situation is different. Like, you can't really say for this. It's like, this is another mass shooting that we are seeing. So it's like, I hate to say another, because that's kind of like being desensitized to what's really going on here. But I don't know. I felt like during COVID, people said, I hate to talk about COVID. I've been talking about COVID all since I started this podcast. But I feel like since COVID, people have just like had a lot of people have just had a lot of like outrage about assault, not just assault rifles, but like firearms, period. And I feel like firearms aren't really like fixing firearms and like regulating and moderating the amount of, not moderating, but regulating the amount of firearms like isn't gonna help the situation of like mass shootings. I feel like mass shootings are happening because people are like hurt. You know what I'm saying? Or like in whatever scenario they are, like I think, and then like with the past like stuff that's happened, like even just prior to COVID, kind of like in 2017, where you got the guy, like, you know, it's not just like, and it's like so commonly like stereotyped of like these like all white kids are gonna shoot the school up, like, you know, it's not just white people that we seeing is doing this like crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's what I think is really crazy about it too. Is just like people, you know, like what can we do to make sure that we, as much effort as we're putting towards changing the gun laws, which, I mean, gun laws aren't going to stop somebody from going and shooting up a school. That's just how I feel about it. And I don't like, I'm not saying, I don't like to speak without just, you know, helping finding solutions, because it's like, to say like something isn't working and then not have your own solution is like, I feel like that's kind of like bogus or redundant. Not redundant, but kind of like, you know, it's just kind of like crappy. You know what I'm saying? To be like, oh yeah, that don't work. This not working. That's not working. Like, figure it out. Well, how can you help? You know? And I feel like reaching out and like outreach and just like trying to make sure that everybody feels like a person is a big part of like you know, the societal role in that. Because these people gonna keep acting crazy. These people gonna keep doing what they doing, and you know, making like like changing the gun laws isn't gonna help. I feel like that's what we like just kind of like stuffed during the COVID. That's kind of what we just stuffed with all those like school shootings and stuff, like mass shootings with, was just like, oh, mental health and gun laws. Like, the gun laws aren't what it is, you know. These people are individually crazy, and there's nothing that we can do about this. And here we are at the end of 2023 in December, looking at 3 people dead. Now, I hate to say luckily there weren't any students, because I feel like that's kind of like they weren't students, so it don't matter. That's not what I'm saying here, and I think you can clearly tell that, but luckily there weren't students that were killed. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's still messed up to think that one of these, like 3 of these people were like, man, I'm about to go to work. I'm about to clock in, and they are not coming back. Like, they're not going to see their family. That's scary, man. It's kind of scary. It is. Like, it's scary to think about, like, man, I'm finna go to work and I'm not gonna make it back. You know, I feel like everybody is just like, you know, I feel like that's kind of what a lot of people base their day behind, is like, man, make it back home safe. You know what I'm saying? If anything. And like, you know, it's not like these people were like police officers, you know. They're just faculty members. Probably part of just like a different part of the staff or whatever. So it's sad, man. That's really sad. And that, like I said, I'm always kind of like praying and just sending prayers and condolences to like the families of these people that are dying from these, like, you know, you wake up one day and you just check on your people and it's like they just gone, you know. That's crazy, you know, from like something that has absolutely nothing to do from you. Like, that's like my worst nightmare, or like some type of like disastrous nature of like this is crazy. It's so crazy. It was like a few headlines I really wanted to talk to y'all about, just to kind of like do this like not precursor, but like transition between December and January. December is like a very eventful month, I guess. November and December have been very eventful, and that's really strange. Like, kind of like bitterly eventful. Like, it's a lot of stuff that's going on that people are just like, oh, we don't want to talk about it. And definitely in the pod world, I kind of noticed like people kind of being like, I'm gonna let that elephant stay in the room. But man, like, I think that some of these cases just need to like really, like this, like another mass shooting, another like, you know, mass shooting by somebody who's probably out of their mind. It's very sad. I hate to talk about it so briefly because it's like, oh, that's it, you know, but it is what it is. Like, it's another news case, and that's what's sad about it. Right, okay. So today I really wanted to, I had like a really, really dope subject and topic I wanted to talk about. And this might not even just be the only day that we talk about this. Like, I really wanted to talk about this for hours and hours with somebody else. I thought I was gonna kind of have like a co-host or something to talk to them about it. I really wanted to talk to a girl about it and see how she felt, but I kind of was the variable of kind of testing, you got to kind of be careful with how you testing the variable, changing the variable of it, because I want a girl that's that doesn't use iMessage, but then I also want to speak to a girl that uses Android or that uses Google OS and stuff like that. Today I really kind of wanted to make I don't want to name this episode "Fuck iMessage." That's not what I'm saying. I think we're just gonna name this episode "Blue Bubble Obsession." The obsession with Blue Bubble. Yeah. I think we're gonna call this episode that one. It's just the obsession with the Blue Bubble, and I think the Blue Bubble era that we're looking at ending. I know people probably man, you're so obsessed with tech brands and stuff like that. I'm really not. I just think that the Blue Bubble, and we're not just gonna say iMessage because I don't want this to be a terrible SEO type of post, but I feel like the Blue Bubble has changed social culture a lot. iMessage has I'm not gonna say it messed up the social construct of not so much social patience, but it definitely kind of it changed the pace of just general social conversation, not even just social conversation, but I guess what you could consider to be intimate conversation. And it isn't always that. Sometimes it's just about the $20 that you owe somebody, and more times than not, it's usually the money that you owe, and then your reds are on and you don't know. I think the way that they've designed that kind of the way that they designed, the Blue Bubble is so crazy. I wrote down, this is the note that I wrote down. I think the hoes are addicted to iMessage or any other method that'll make a nigga feel inadequate. I think that's so true. You know what I'm saying? Any method that you could make your your potential counterpart or somebody that you pursuing feel inadequate so they can speak to you is kind of this divisive kind of nature that iMessage is, or that iMessage enables. The Blue Bubble has it's just enabling kind of just a divisive nature. You know what I'm saying? Kind of I'm not gonna say conniving, because conniving is a strong word, but the divisive nature of the Blue Bubble is wild. I think about how many friends I've made angry because I'm a terrible texter, and I know I'm not the only person. But I don't know, man. I just feel just the nature of just iMessage is wild. Yeah. I said, what did I say? It's to the point now that women love iMessage so much because it's kind of an abrupt check to your daily routine. We gotta kind of be mindful of how much time the average person has to literally communicate to another person. It's not a lot of time in the day. And I think when I said that, I meant I think it's kind of the disregard for, I guess it's kind of enabling kind of a social micromanagement that I just find so common with women my age nowadays. Why do you don't really give a fuck what I'm doing right now? You don't. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to. I mean, even if you do, you kind of don't care. You know what I'm saying? It's not it's not going to change anything that you don't know what I'm doing. And I think I don't know. I don't want to say it's a lack of trust, but it's kind of I don't know. Sometimes I get a sense of ownership with it. but then I get like, it's like a bad ownership. Cause nobody, like, I'm not making you proud by responding to your text. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like claiming you and like you're not my trophy because I respond to all your texts on time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's just good to see like people kind of like transitioning away from like just like this 24/7 phone in the face type lifestyle. Like I think even like with the advancement of technology, like Apple Watches and stuff like that, and like Bluetooth headphones and AirPods and stuff like that, like people kind of like have kind of kept the phone, but now it's kind of like, these like automated alerts and stuff that you kind of like, it's kind of like just a part of you, this like never closing door of communication, which is like, for me, I mean, it's not for everybody. Personally, I don't think that it's for everybody. Like, I feel like as a person, you should always kind of have like this, like, amount of solitude or like this kind of like, it's healthy to like keep that like amount of like mental solidarity at some points in time. At points in time, like, yo, you gotta kind of like, get unworldly and kind of like get, you know what I'm saying, kind of get in your own zone. But yeah, man, I don't know. I just think that people kind of like having like a just like an open door to like your mind frame and your thought trains of like, just this 24/7 like speaking, that's why I liked the group FaceTime feature, but I think the way that people consume it now is just like unhealthy. You know what I'm saying? Like if you can kind of see where like the future is going and stuff, I just think it's kind of like, I don't know. And like people, people be like, yo, here you go talking about the Tower of Babel again, or like crazy, like, oh, the world's gonna end. Like stuff that has to happen is gonna happen anyways. Like people are gonna talk to people all the time anyways. You understand what I'm saying? That's gonna be like that regardless. But for me, I think like the rate in which the technology is accelerating the accessibility of each other's psyches is like, I feel like it's not good. But that's the day and age we're living in right now. I don't want to blame iMessage for this completely. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, iMessage, or like to say that Apple is completely responsible for how much how the world is now. I don't know. I would like to say that they're responsible for it, but it's like, it's not their entire fault. Like people are people, human beings are, humanity is humanity, But I don't know. I think that's like such a big part of it, I got my Reds on, and it was a certain point in time where I was like, yo, I'm keeping my Reds on for whoever texts me. Like I saw this text and I don't care if you saw it. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you saw that I saw. And even to think like that is like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like why am I like this? It makes you kind of like really think about the people that you communicate with. Like, are your relationships healthy that you feel like, man, like I really do not want to text this person? Like I think about the place that I'm at now, like the people that text my phone now, not just saying that this is like this is a perfect example of why Apple isn't responsible for this type of life, but it is kind of enabling it. Like I'm not saying just because now I use like Android and like Google devices is like people who text me now, it's like it's never like toxic, but I can like feel that kind of like, that like attitude of like this important text that has to be acknowledged. I feel like it's kind of like physically indebting to a phone. It's kind of like physically like draws and ties you to this like thread, and these threads, like I know, like I've had conversations with girls that like cried their eyes out because they can't find like text threads, and like it makes you think about like, man, like this is really deep. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like even just the structuring of that like really changed how people deal with each other, And then yeah, man, it's just being like blue bubble obsessed. I feel like that kind of like clutchy lifestyle is kind of like dying down. Like we look at like the beginning of 2024, and like, you know, kind of like the plateauing, or like the stern plateauing of like what a cellular device is, or like what iPhone will be, or what iPhone has become, you know. And now we kind of like look at like how people deal with social media, or just like virality, or social media virality. And it's like, you know, people kind of like, you know, we understand how clutchy it is, you know. I think even some of us are kind of like, you know, regretting like even recent like behavior. Like we can kind of look at our old behaviors of like even this year, like 2023 or like 2022, and like kind of be like, ah man, why was I so clutchy during this time? But it's like, you know, it is what it is, you know. Like you live and you learn, and like stuff changes, and like now we look at this as like, you know, I mean, let's just keep that as people are responsible for what they do, but when they're enabled by technology to take it worse, to be worse, is like, you know, we can't like not acknowledge the variable of the technology of what's changing. You know what I'm saying? Like that definitely changes, you know, what somebody would do, you know. And I've lost a lot of friends. I can think about like I've lost a lot of like people and friends just because I had a red notification on. You know, sometimes some people would like take it as disrespect. Like I know even in like in most like inboxes and stuff, like when somebody sees your message and they don't respond immediately, it's kind of like taken as disrespect, which is wild. I think I have like I've been in situations where I've been like bubble to bubble with people, and they've been like open-ended conversations. Excuse me, they've been like open-ended conversations, and then like I would be mad if like somebody just left me in an open-ended conversation without like the next message. I would be kind of irritated with that. But like out of the blue, ill-natured messages you're sure I wouldn't want to respond to, kind of like packaged as like, you know, like a social cue test, I'm usually gonna delete our thread. Like I'm that type of person. Like I will not, like, for me I feel like, you know, and I be telling women that all the time, but I never say it because it never gets there. But I'll be like, yo, you got me coming in at 100, at like 0. I usually come in at like 112 with women, but like I'm like, if I'm not talking to you enough, then it's like, you know what I'm saying, I'm losing with you. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how it is with at least women my age. You know what I'm saying? For sure, definitely women my age right now, like 24, 26, 20 something. It's like if you're not talking to me enough, then I'm inching out the door. And it's like, as a man, I'm supposed to just be like, so you not trying to steal a base? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not finna catch these pitches. Excuse me, I'm not finna catch pitches because, you know what I'm saying? But you are kind of like, you know, okay, you know. But I know that's not like that for everybody. I'm just speaking in like just a generalization, but that's how I be feeling, bro. Like, bro, texting be toxic, and I be wanting to deal with women that only get on the phone. I will enjoy a phone call, girl, more than like, oh hey, how you doing? You know, attachments, whatever. Like Don't get me wrong. Okay, attachment is attachments. You know what I'm saying? Attachment. You feel me? Attachment. You feel me? But I'm really more like a phone conversation type dude. Sit on the phone, zone out, not pay attention, then start talking again type dude. And I feel like that art is so lost. Like, and then it's like, for me to be like putting things down into like a written format. Like I'm a real big voice memo dude for sure. Like I do like that about Blue Bubble. Like I'm obsessed with the voice memo feature. I feel like that's cool, but that's not reality. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I wish the reality of it was like me just being like, hey, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Poking her in her ear or something, and then like, you know, it's over with. She won't ever see the text. You know what I'm saying? It's never like kept. I wish it was like that. You know, I think it used to be, it was some old app, like it was like some app where it was like chirp, and you would just say whatever, and everybody would just hear it. Wasn't nothing getting saved. I feel like I would use that way harder than anything. Hey, come here real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is just bzz, and it just goes straight through. But at the same time, I just think, hey, get off me. You know what I'm saying? Like I would always feel like, man, stop messaging me, bro. I'ma always feel like that. I do not read Instagram DMs. I reply to comments, and and I answer texts. My mom texts me, my sister texts me, my family texts me. I do not respect. I don't know, man. I'm like a real in person dude, and I feel like I don't know. I'm a real dramatic pause type dude for sure. That's why I'm always on the phone. Like I really like me and y'all. We probably not gonna. It's probably not gonna. The conversation ain't gonna go good because it's like I'm trying to text you back and forth. Like I have so much. I have like ADD. Like I'm gonna be doing 1,000,001 things. I'm not gonna be like, okay, let me make sure I text her back. Like I must get up, go get some, go make a taco, come back down, and then like me and you ain't gonna be still speaking. This is something I want to talk about since I'm talking about like two brands. Let me get off this subject. And I had to say this for real quick. Why does screen capture not work, bro? And I know this is a Google. I had to do some research and find out that Recapture is a Google company. Why did Recapture just start working in the past like 4 or 5 months? Like I know I'm not tweaking. Like it's been like this year that like every time I open Recapture, it just does not work. I don't know if it's just iOS devices or Google devices or what, which doesn't make sense because it's a Google company. But hopefully they can fix that, man. I just wanted to talk about that real quick. That was in my notes. I had to say that. I was so blown by that. I'm trying to get into my my PayPal, and I could not because of another Recapture. But yeah, you guys, right now I'm at the Light Collective facility. I do want to kind of talk to you guys about this a little bit. The Light Collective is like this really dope community facility and location. They have a bunch of different services for the public. If you guys want to reach out to them, I'm gonna put their information down here. Follow them on Instagram and stuff like that. I'm supposed to be hosting some type of like art programming class here too, so I'm really excited about that. We're not gonna talk too much about it because I don't want to like mess it up if it's something serious. But yeah, we got that coming up. I think I've been talking to y'all for like 30 minutes now, so we probably gonna wrap this one up too. But we're gonna start doing pods from here every now and then. And just kind of like just talking to y'all about like really cool stuff. I just wanted to talk to y'all about like, yo, and just kind of give y'all a time frame on how this is going. Like even from the last episode of us talking about Israel and like people carrying like these dead kids out of tents, like, not even months later we got like we in the media talking about another mass shooting at UNLV. So prayers to the families and UNLV, the UNLV faculty members, and individually those people, and rest their souls. And not even just to kind of like make this whole episode about that, but just to kind of give y'all a time frame. Like, bro, man, sadness is never gonna stop. People never gonna stop being crazy, like the world crazy, man. And we just gotta make sure that we are like being as expressive as possible, like especially creative. Like I kind of see like the way that COVID hit us and traumatized us. It made a lot of creative people kind of like get off in this shell of like, I'm never gonna talk, and the world gotta love me, or else I'm never gonna have this moment of what I'm saying, of like to speak, or everything gotta be perfect. My moment gotta shine harder than everybody moment. Man, give me the cold pizza, man. You know what I'm saying? Give me the cold pizza, cause I'ma say what I gotta say. And I feel like we're just kind of seeing that as just like, wow, man, like back to back to back, just bad stuff. And hopefully, like, you know, with the end of this, well, not with the end of December, but yeah, this will probably be out before December's up. We could just like all kind of like keep our New Year's resolution to ourselves, because when we say it and like post it and the Instagram resolution, like hopefully this year we could get rid of the Instagram resolution, you know what I'm saying, and just kind of like make it about like, you know, like more or less like internal. Like don't be like, so, you know, this is what I'm gonna do and this is how I'm gonna come better. Like just come better, you know what I'm saying, and just don't think about it so much, and like, you know, leave all the negativity. Leave all the negativity in 2023. Like, leave all the negativity in 2023, bro. I know we said this last year. We said leave all the negativity in 2020. And that's what I really want to say. We said leave all the negativity in 2020. So what's still going on? That's the real question. For real. Like, 2020 negativity still here. Very much so. That did not leave, but like I said, man, you know, we just gotta start, man, as a bunch of, like, I feel like as a people, we all gotta, like, man, take a picture of yourself, man, come back to it and see where you came from, you know, on some caterpillar shit, stuff, you know, kind of like, you know, take a moment to to admire your own growth, you know what I'm saying, and just kind of like examine where you going. Because, like I said, I told my sister this the other day, you know, the best way to succeed in life is to stay where you're going. And that's hard. It's real hard to stay where you're going. And that's what I think everybody, you know, especially like if you're in the same boat as me, you just trying to kind of like stay where you're going. And that's hard. But yeah, man, just kind of like, I think this time that we living in now is gonna push a lot of people to just kind of like zone in on their form of expression or whatever their medium of expression is. Shout out Andre 2000. Shout out Andre 3000, man. Like, you know, be aware of what your medium is as a creator, as a creative person, as a human being. Be aware of what your medium is and what you do on earth. What's your purpose on earth, and how do you express yourself? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm gonna leave y'all with. I ain't gonna make this one too long. I'm gonna try to leave this one like at least under an hour, but I love y'all, man. Thank y'all for tuning in, and like I want to thank YouTube Shorts again for like making all of this possible. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, Google. Thank you, Alphabet, for like making everything here possible. I also want to thank the Light Collective for making so many things possible that we're gonna talk about later. I'm actually working on a huge mural in this facility that we standing in right now. So I'm really excited about that. We're gonna document that process. I'm gonna tell y'all about it when we done with it. But I'm really excited about that too, man. Y'all just stay positive, man. Just stay positive. I'm gonna try to. I feel like that's the pace we gonna hit it with, like month for month, because a lot of stuff just changed when November ended. You know, a lot of bad things happened. You know, a lot of cases just coming into the light that didn't need to come into the light, that we just kind of like, you know, wow, you know, we all just kind of looking like, man, you know, that's how I feel about the world right now. The world kind of teetering and tottering and balancing, because it's like, you know, so much social realization is happening. So many things are breaking down and like kind of like, you know, becoming anew. So it's kind of like, I feel like we're gonna see scorched earth in 2024, and we're gonna see a lot of scorched earth, and we're gonna see a lot of people trying to like, you know, hammer down and kind of like set in stone some things. And I'm excited about it. As equally anxious, but more excited about it. I'm gonna say I'm more excited about it. I'm not afraid of anything. Like I said, y'all, MacBook Pro. We ain't on the MacBook Pro right now, but MacBook Pro. Do not be blue bubble obsessed. If shorty blue bubble obsessed, leave her alone. If she got an iPhone and she don't put her iPhone down, her iPhone stay in her hand, and like Even when it's not ringing, even when she not scrolling, she hold the phone sweaty. She never put that phone down. She might be clutchy, bro. She might be blue bubble obsessed, bro. If your man won't put his phone down, you already know. And I know you know. Your man might be blue bubble obsessed. Your attachments might not be the only attachments he getting. And I know you know well enough to not be out here looking goofy. I know you ain't gonna let no man make you look like a fool. You feel me? If you want to have an excellent life, keep excellent company. You know what I'm saying? This is the XCLNT podcast. Do not be blue bubble obsessed. We letting that go. We're not saying all iPhones gotta die, but we gotta stop being so left on red as a culture. Stop caring if you get left on red. Stop leaving people on. Turn all reds off. We need to start living like that too in life. You know what I'm saying? It's only 24 hours in a day. Whatever you say it is, you only got that much time. For real. And we got to be realistic about that.